Hello, everyone. Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and it is time for yet again another 2020 Mr. Olympia relevant comparison. This is Phil the Gift Heath, 2018. This is his last Olympia up until a couple of days ago, and the 2020. I believe Desktop Bodybuilding did this exact version of a comparison. Did he not do this one, or did he do 2011 versus two? No, I think he did this one. Anyway. Midsections, guys. This is what everybody's going to be focusing in on. But, guys, we're going to be looking at all of the muscles. This is bodybuilding, not just is Phil Heath's gut in check. He's had surgery, things of that nature. And, yes, it was definitely out of whack, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. But, guys, he made the 2020 Mr. Olympia what it was. Him coming back and Ramy defeating him. So we should all probably definitely thank him for his comeback. Anyway, let's run through the poses, and I'll give you my guesstimation on which muscles are better. He has good legs, guys, now. He has good arms now. I definitely think his arms are bigger, maybe better, and his legs have more cuts. See the feathering in his quads? But, of course, the midsection. And his lats look like they're a lot bigger last year as well. Here we have the Saturday shows. So not only is this a Phil versus Phil 2020, but this is Saturday versus Friday, Saturday. And you can see this weekend, he looked better the first night. He looks just as good, maybe better. The cuts in his legs are more prominent, I think, for 2018. He's Mr. Saturday night, right? Well, he didn't do that. He was Mr. Friday night in 2020, judging by that first pose. Let's go to the front lat spread. And again, guys, his legs looked fantastic this year. Look at the cuts in those quads. And the arms. And I noticed his delts. Look at the tie-ins of his delts. Definitely a lot better. Whereas shoulder muscles for sure. But one thing that's not is his lats. You see that? His lats are definitely more Dorian-esque. For 2018, maybe meant more business at that end of it. But anyway, we don't have a Saturday night show front lat spread of either. Go to the side chest development, and he's in better condition last year, or 2018. See the tie-ins of the hamstrings, the glutes, thin skin. Definitely. I mean, his arms are huge, I will say, this year. He definitely pumped those guns up for all they're worth. Anyway, Saturday show. And this one, he's kind of bowing his chest out a little bit for the 2018. He's not flexing it, so he doesn't have that split in his pec, and I kind of like that, I have to say. Arms again, guys. Look at the tris and bis this year. I think he maybe overdid it. And the legs, they look a lot bigger this year, but I think that's the display, how he's holding his quad. He's tilted a little bit thusly in 2018, but his legs do look a whole lot drier, for sure. Go to the side tricep development, and I was impressed with the overall flow of this one. Yes, I understand I made them different heights, but he's got his lag, his far lag in 2018, pretty straight. He's holding it pretty straight there, and he's bending down, he's crouching down a little bit more this year. Actually, his pecs look darn good as well. Drier hamstrings for 18, drier tie-ins, the quads. Definitely better conditioned. The midsection actually looks very good this year in the side tricep for sure. Now the tricep development itself, 18 for sure. Much more striations, probably bigger as well. Now turn these fills around and let's look at the biggest difference of all, and that is the back development. Look at the traps. Take a good look, guys, and don't just write this off and say, oh, his back was just as good. No, it wasn't. His lats, they reached out a whole lot farther. There's much greater detail in those lats and in the traps. The thickness, lower lat insertions. He means business here, guys. And the glutes, of course, hamstrings, drier as well. Go for the Saturday night show. And the glutes are a lot softer here for Saturday night for this past weekend, 2020. And he definitely lacking some meat in the lower lat insertions when you do the comparison. I said do. When you actually do the comparison. And look at the hamstrings. on 2018. He went for broke, man. He came back Saturday night. He heard he was going to lose, and you know what I'm saying? He was all business. I'm telling you right now. Rear double bicep. And like I said, those arms, I believe they are a little maybe too big for Phil now. He pumped those guns up, and you can see that in a pose like this. Much more the better proportions here when you look at the arms and the back for 2018. And again, hamstrings and glutes. But like I said, I think he was a lot drier for Saturday night for 18. Let's see. Yeah, he looks like he had maybe meant more business in the back development for 2018 for Saturday night. But you can see the hamstrings, glutes, night and day difference, guys. Wow. So he was called Mr. Saturday Night for a reason, but I guess he probably knew. He probably realized Saturday morning when he woke up this weekend, he knew he wasn't going to win. So, why kill yourself? It's probably going to be his last Olympia. Ab and thigh pose. Bigger lats. You can see that right out of the chute. But maybe a little bit of a bulbous waistline for 2020. And that is a lack of a better term, I guess. Cuts in those quads for 2018, or for 2020, rather. I'm looking at a different version here. Yes, sir. So Friday night, he was better, I think, in the quads, the cuts. But then he came back Saturday night, looked a little softer, and we do not have an ab and thigh for either version, unfortunately, because I really wanted to see that one. Go to the final pose, the most muscular. And he does look good here for 2020 because his arms are huge. They're pumped. And if any muscle was better, I believe, was his delts. I think he really improved on those delts. And the quads, guys. Look at the cuts, the feathering in the quads. Definitely more prominent, as was the midsection as well. So it was bittersweet, I guess. I liked that he came back. I mean, hey, we got to see the great return. And this is the second time ever he's lost after he's won the championship title, that is. This is the Saturday night show. It almost looks like they switched legs. You see that? The cuts are much more prominent now for the 2018 version. Much more detail. He really went for broke, like I said. I think he really carved up and just boom, came back huge. And just this past Saturday, it doesn't even look like he even put any oil on. He knew he was going to lose. He just basically came back and gave us what his last bon farewell, or you know what I'm saying, guys? And it's a shame, I guess, if he never ever does come back. We really didn't give him the appropriate bon farewell. They should have, gave him a big clap. And anyway, guys, that's bodybuilding. It's a cruel sport sometimes. This is a telling tale, guys. He has improved in certain muscle groups, I believe, but as a whole, he is never going to get his old classic shape back. So, I believe that this was his last ever performance, 2020. But that's just me. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.